Today, we're talking to Dr. A.Middleton, the Executive Director of the Schulich Executive Education Center, about why we will need a different style of leadership in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. A.Middleton.
The interesting thing about the modern day corporation is that notions of management and leadership have got a little confused. Management is a process. Leadership is how well you enact that process and set a compelling direction for the organization that people won't actually want to get on board and follow. The problem is we've been very Anglo-Saxon about it, which is very individualistic, because most of the literature about management techniques in general and leadership in particular have come out of North America in general, Anglo-Saxon markets in particular, and the United States in very special terms. So it's emphasized the individual. If you pick up the Fortune magazine or Business Week or Forbes or any Wall Street Journal or any of them, they'll always be focusing about the importance of the individual. We have to move in this world from individual to team thinking about leadership. Why? Two reasons. The most successful corporations are those that have not only engaged an individual's brilliance, but ingrained it in the culture so the team follows. So let's use 2011's star death, which is Steve Jobs. And everybody will look at that and say, brilliant individual. Indeed, he was a brilliant individual. But why did that brilliant individual succeed? Because he created a team culture in Apple that absolutely bought into what that individual believed. But Apple's success was not Steve Jobs in specific terms, it was the team taking that through. Talk about the big failures, and we got many big failures in the financial services environment. It's because of the emphasis on the individual rather than the team. Here's the problem. We're all brought up in North America, not in Europe, not in Asia, not in Latin America. We're brought up in North America to believe teams are like committees and committees don't make decisions. What's one of the oldest adages? A camel is a horse designed by a committee, which shows a whole cultural attitude to it. Whereas in fact, all the business evidence shows very strongly that run properly, in other words, with good leadership, teams create higher quality decisions. So where does leadership go? Leadership is about building credibility across a range of capabilities in their team, a range of integrated capabilities. In other words, again, not the North American model that goes up a silo and says, you're a really great marketing director, now we're going to make you general manager. Forget it. That person will have a real struggle because they've only been up marketing. It's one element. The second element is we're in a world of constant change. If we think the last decade has been a world of change, then I've got a bridge in Brooklyn I'm going to sell you. Because the next decades are going to be more disruptive changes than we've seen. In fact, the last year is probably a better model for what the future is going to be like. In other words, oh, the economies are staggering out. Oh, then there's Greece, then there's Portugal, then there's Ireland, then there's Italy. That's going to be the way of the world because we are more integrated globally than we perhaps realized. Small changes in different parts of the world make huge changes in what we have to cope with. So what's the leadership skill? Leadership skill is agility. The ability of knowing when a strategic direction that's been set for you to accomplish your objective has to switch and switch quickly. Leadership is not only the ability of recognizing it, staying close to the outside world, but the ability of having an agile internal system so that the leader recognizing it can also be translated very quickly to the whole organization recognizing it. So that ability to be agile, to sense changes in the world and then bring your organization to change.